Master, let me see again. The story of Bartimaeus is a story of unwavering faith and unwavering love and grace and mercy on the part of Jesus.
What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked him. The blind man said, Rabbi, I want to see. Go, said Jesus. Your faith has healed you. Immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus along the road.
So the gospel goes, as Jesus left Jericho with a large crowd, a blind beggar Bartimaeus was on the side of the road. So you can imagine Bartimaeus possibly was waiting here every day. He may have heard the story of Jesus and the miracles he performed and what he was capable of. And when he sees Jesus coming, he shouts, Son of David, Jesus, have pity on me. So his first act of faith was to wait for a glimpse of Jesus. His second act of faith is to shout out in front of the crowd, Son of David. So he's appealing to Jesus' kingship. He's showing Jesus that he believes that he is in this royal lineage, in the order of Melchizedek. Call him here, Jesus says. He repeats again, Son of David, have pity on me. Jesus asks the crowd to call him.
So they called to the blind man, Cheer up, on your feet, he's calling you. Throwing his cloak aside, he jumped to his feet and came to Jesus.
So he appeals for mercy on their part. So in our own lives, we're called to have mercy on those maybe who've fallen away from the faith. So they call him, and interestingly they say, have courage, get up, he's calling you. So their attitude seems to have changed towards him, because the Rabboni, the teacher, Jesus, the Son of David, has asked them to call him. So he throws off his cloak and he jumps up and goes towards Jesus. So this cloak is representative of his whole life. He comes from the side of the road. He's somebody who was possibly cast off in society. And Jesus says, in a great moment, what do you want me to do for you? So it must seem obvious to the crowd that he wants to see again, but Jesus wants him to admit that he wants to see again, that he wants to come back to Christ. He wants to throw off his old ways and come follow him. It's very reminiscent of when the paralytic was let down through the roof and he's lying there on the stretcher, and to all intents and purposes everybody knows that the paralytic wants to walk again. And Jesus says, your sins are forgiven, now pick up your bed and go home. So Jesus is always pointing towards the thing, our biggest disability, the thing that weakens us the most is not blindness, deafness. It is this distance from him. And this distance from him is caused by sin. So Jesus calls us to make a move toward him. And when we make that move toward him in faith, like the blind beggar, he will reward us. His grace is abundant for everyone. What do you want me to do for you? And again, in another step of faith, the blind man calls him Rabboni. And Rabboni is a teacher. It's somebody who's a master or a teacher. So Rabboni, the blind man said. And again, Master, he says, let me see again. Jesus said to him, go, your faith has saved you. And immediately his sight returned, and he followed him along the road. And notice he doesn't run away and do his own thing. It says, he followed Jesus, he followed him along the road. He wants to remain close to Jesus. His faith was real. His faith was authentic and genuine. Jesus rewarded him for his faith, and his faith increased and was strengthened. We may not be on the side of the road, we may not be blind, but sin is never too far away. And Jesus always calls us back to him. We must go toward him like the blind beggar, with courage and with belief that Jesus is the Lord. Luckily, we have the sacraments. We have the magisterium of the church. We have the word of Christ to help us along the way.